Welcome back for a new reading skill. This is Unit 13 in your textbook, and let me tell you what page that's on. It's on page 38 of your textbook. But before we get into the lesson, I do want to review the vocabulary word that we've done a lot of vocabulary. But here's the one that we defined in our video. This is technical text. Informational text that tells how to do a task or explains how something works. This is a very valuable skill on the job. You may work on a production line where you have to do maintenance on a machine. You would have a technical text to tell you how to do that. Your car manual is a technical text. The user's manual that I don't know if they even still come with new manuals anymore, but if you buy a computer program, you might have an online technical text. A recipe is a technical text. So this skill is all about how to read and understand that type of information. These are very often sequence passages, so we'll be using that skill, I suspect. But I am on lesson 13, Understand Technical Text. And here is the first example. This is on page 38. Let me turn on my pen so I can. And this is one that we've probably all encountered if you have a home computer. This is on page 38. It's talking about troubleshooting printer problems or figuring out why your printer is not working. Troubleshooting means looking for the reasons that you're having trouble. So, let's see what this has to say. And notice that these are bulleted. They're not numbered because this is not a defined sequence. You don't have to do one before the other. You could do these in any order. These are called bullets. I'm going to make my pen just a little bit smaller. So these are bullet points. The first one says to check that the printer's electrical cord is plugged into an electrical outlet. So check the wall. The second one, check that the printer is turned on. It could be plugged up but not turned on. For wired printers, make sure that the printer cable is connected properly. It should go from the printer to the computer and be seated on both ends. Okay, the word seated, what does that mean in this case? When I think of seated, I think of being seated at my desk like I am now. In this case, it means that both ends are connected securely. I would also tie that to this first situation. Make sure that the printer's plugged into the wall. Make sure that the cord is plugged into the printer, that there are connections on both ends. For wireless printers, make sure the printer's wireless option is on and available. So I just wanted to go over this example because it's one that we might encounter in everyday life. I wanted to point out that it is bulleted. The bullet points are not in numerical order. You could do any of these first. There's no defined order. Also want to point out that this uses some technical language. Words like even troubleshooting, electrical, wired, wireless. You have to have a little bit of knowledge about how printers work to understand this. So this is a more difficult text than some we've seen. We definitely need to have a little bit of knowledge, at least about how printers and computers connect to each other. So this is a technical text. Let's look at a test example at the bottom. This is another one that we may all encounter. It is talking about, it says to follow these simple steps to set the clock on your microwave oven. How many times have you passed your microwave and that light is flashing, wanting you to set the clock? So here is one example of how to do that. Notice that these are not bulleted. This indicates that you must do them in a certain order. This is a sequence of things. And if you don't follow the sequence, you will not get the result you're looking for. So if you have numbers, that's a sequence usually. If you have bullet points, like we had up here, you can do it in any order. Okay, number 1, touch the clock pad. That's the button on the microwave. Enter the correct time. Use the number pads. So when they're using the word pad, they're using that to mean button, or in this case, plural. Touch the enter start pad or button. Touch 1 for AM, touch 2 for PM. Of course, AM is before noon. PM is after 12 noon up to midnight. And then touch the enter start pad again. Now, this particular set of instructions does not work for my microwave, but this may be in the user's manual of the microwave you purchase. If not, there should be something similar to explain how to set the clock. Okay, the question: what is the purpose of step 4? What is the reason that you would do step 4? And let's just review step 4. It's going to be right here. Touch 1 for AM, 2 for PM. Okay, now don't jump to an answer without reading them all. That step sets the time as AM or PM. That's true. That step sets the correct time. Not really. The correct time is set at step number 2. Step 4, meaning that step, tells the microwave that you are changing the clock. Nope, that was step 1. So the microwave knows we're working on the clock and not cooking something. That step tells the microwave that you have finished changing the time. That would be step 5. So by reading all my choices, I can tell you that the correct answer is A. It is determining whether we are talking about morning or afternoon. One tip that I would give to you on this one is to read carefully. Don't get in a hurry with these sequences because they have to follow that particular order. I am going to stop this video and I'll meet you in the next video for page 39.